Welcome, baby dolls. Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News. Crypto continues its nuke fest. A lot of uncertainty out there. Is the 4-year cycle pretty much going to repeat the simulation? Or are we going to cope and hope that the future gets better when it's been getting worse and worse for the past 4.5 years? Today, we're going to speak more about gold. Gold going parabolic. Euphoria. There are retailers lining up everywhere out the store. They're even making anti-crypto memes, which is funny. We're going to speak about the Trump family, Tommy, Bank of England, stablecoins, super cycle, all of that coming your way and more. I will show you the Bitcoin monthly candle is stalling out, looking like absolute trash now. Bitcoin, unfortunately, since January, friends, if we look at January, Bitcoin is about 15% up for the year. That's pretty much it since January. Some sort of non-blow-off top we had. Blockchain backer and everyone thinks that this was pretty much the top. Everyone's saying, you know, like 80% chance there's a bear market coming. I don't know what happens after this point. No one does. But yeah, man, it could be it, friends. And yeah, I do have PTSD. I do from 2021, where none of us wanted it to be over, but it was actually over, and then everything got worse. 4.5 years. So yeah, I mean, there's thousands of things that could go wrong. Everything keeps going wrong for all of us here. So I mean, like, why can't it get worse for the next 5-10 years? Right, nuke everything to zero. So I'm going to show you now the short-term price action. Bitcoin literally nuking towards zero, destroying the party again. This is the previous monthly low. So here is Bitcoin out here. Unfortunately, it did have a nice higher low formation, but then it just starts coming down and getting nuked. Don't know what it's from. Maybe we go check out the S&P 500. Maybe that'll explain it. This is a previous monthly low. I'm not even going to bother saying, oh, it's got to hold, because you know what these things do, man. You know, so everyone out there is feeling nervous and depressed and sad. You know, if we have to wait another 4 years, everybody's life's on hold. We unfortunately chose the only asset class that didn't go up for the past 4.5 years, where literally everything else did, which is very unfortunate. Maybe it's a lesson for life. What's that lesson? Don't try. So the Bitcoin monthly candles, friends, we have green, red, green, red. This is actually poop. Okay, moving around. I just want to show you in the past, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles for BTC and only 3 in a row here. This would be a very non-traditional blow-off, if you want to consider that as well. We have Ethereum, once again, scamming again. Breaks the wedge, and then for some reason just comes back in the wedge. I mean, no one cares about this stuff anymore. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I know. Let's move the wicks. Let's connect the candle closes. That'll be the cope that we need. Yes. Now we see connect these candle closes. Oh, we've just moved the triangle part. That's what it comes down to. Nothing else really we can do about it. We have Bitcoin about to flip red on the 6-month chart. Nasty, but this is it. Remember, Bitcoin has been running for the longest cycle of all time, right? We were thinking that this was going to finish green. This is 6-month candles. It's about, you know, it looks like it's about to flip red. What are we going to do for the rest of the year? Don't know. You know, is it going to get worse? I don't know. Probably it always gets worse. You know, it never gets better. That's sad. Total crypto industry down to $3.6 trillion. I guess, friends, interesting, just, you know, just so you know the dynamics. So Wall Street is rich. Main Street is poor. That's what it comes down to. Main Street is poor, which is the average person out there, you know, jobs and stuff. Everyone's spinning their wheels. No one really can get ahead. Inflation pretty much destroyed everything. There's going to be US Fed 1 rate cut in a month. No one gives a crap because everything's way too tight. If you're looking at the global liquidity fractal, it is nuking in real time. Pretty much everyone got destroyed. The correlation friends, isn't it funny? Everybody starts trading off it, and then we start nuking. Man, is this exactly? I guess this would happen. Like, friends, remember I told you? Remember that Natalie Brunell girl, whatever her name is? She went on Fox News, and she goes, "Look at this chart. It's so easy. Just long Bitcoin, global liquidity." Do you remember? I made the whole episode. I go, man, yeah. I'll be honest, man, that looks like really, really, really bad. Like, you just went on to Fox News. Like, you went on mainstream network. Go, look at this. This is so easy. Hey, I'm just a girl. The line goes up. Do you want to know what's funny? She literally went on the news here. That's funny. And it starts breaking straight away. Kind of funny. You know what's funny? On her segment as well, she said, you know, we're the better form of gold, digital gold. And it was kind of funny. From that moment, Bitcoin stalls and gold goes on a nuclear run. Remember, friends, I've told you, if you want to compare assets, you divide them by each other and you look at the ratio like that. So this is the Bitcoin versus gold ratio. This is BTC on gold, okay? BTC on gold. So you can see that now Bitcoin's down 33% from 2021. So Bitcoin actually hasn't explored high new prices. It tried to, and it's come back down. This is from gold rallying, okay? Gold rallying has been able to, has done this because gold's gone on a turbo nuclear run. Obviously, over time, it does go up. It does go up, but let's be honest, right? I mean, like, you don't want to use any of these, like, you know, useless stuff from 10 years ago. All you care about the stuff you could get in recent times. I mean, if you got in 2019, yeah, you're up 300% against gold. So things are still okay, at least in that department. But yeah, this is gold going sideways. That's why Uncle Peter's shift is pretty much euphoric, right? But hopefully it creates a floor higher and everything starts to get better. But, you know, I've been saying that every 2 seconds. Let's check out gold, friends. Gold going on an absolute turbo, nuclear, parabolic, moon, literally moonshot, bang, huge rally. You got to remember, friends, gold's meant to grow at around 6.5% per year. That's its long-term average growth rate. But when it moves, I mean, look at it. It's done 30% in a few months. Okay, it's meant to grow like 6% per year. So that's the thing about gold, right? I still maintain gold is at extremely euphoric, key resistance, danger area. Here are all the retailers. I hope you imprint this into your mind, friends. Literally, not a single person here wanted gold from 2012 to 2025. So for 12 years, you didn't want it between 1800 and 2500. Actually, from 1300 to 2500, they didn't want it. Beams above 4,000. Okay, I've got to line up. I've got to get it. We got to get gold. Oh my gosh. They're running out of supply. They're not running out of supply, brother. But yeah, friends, this is the gold versus M2SL chart. This is the US money supply, okay, over time. Yeah, there is this huge, friends, you got to remember, like, this critical level since 1975. I mean, you're buying into a 50-year resistance point. Also, the monthly chart of gold itself, you're at dangerously high levels, very dangerously high. Remember, but just because something's top. Remember, when gold drops as well, it doesn't just drop in 2 seconds and it goes, oh, like it's a parabolic moonshot, like altcoins. It doesn't do that. Okay, when it drops like 20 to 30%, and then it goes sideways for a long while. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna crank it a bit for us. Check out gold's monthly RSI. Look where they're buying, brother. My gosh. Friends, it's literally record. I mean, friends, the monthly RSI, it's actually at a new record high. It's at 93. You're about to get destroyed, bro. You are buying a monthly RSI reading of 93. Do you know when I reported it before? I think a few days ago, it was at 92.5, and now it's actually higher. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely wild. Man, this is something special. I just like, man, just want to show you, like, in the past, look, it would go to 83, but look at this, man. These are still monthlies, friends. Even when it used to hit 84, this is on the way to GFC. It still dropped 32%. I mean, like, this is just absolutely bonkers, man. Absolute bonkers. I mean, look at how far we have to go back. This is wild, man. Look at, it hit 91 from before, going literally parabolic. This is in the 1979. I made my video, friends. I made a video for Mr. Kalan, one of my recent YouTube videos. You should watch it. It'd be history, just to show you, like, how do we get to where we are? Is what's going on with gold and everything? Is this video here? Gold pumps into euphoria. Should we be worried? Okay. Remember, gold, friends, is inert. Gold it's the real inflation rate of the world. Okay, this all you gotta look at, all you gotta think about. Okay, it's the real inflation rate of the world. All right, that's why central banks, when there's peace, central banks, they love keeping manipulating the gold price down using the futures. They love keeping a lid on the gold price, so people aren't alerted to the real inflation that they're doing, which they're printing in the background. But gold, unfortunately, it's not a perfect inflation hedge in the short term. That's why not everyone gets it. That's why everybody who buys gold, it's meant to be like insurance for like the next 20 years of your life. Like, you always have gold. It's not meant to be a day-to-day, week-to-week thing, or even month-to-month, or even year-to-year. You could just go years where it literally does nothing, okay? So that's why, like, what Uncle Peter Schiff always talks about is gold is your US dollar replacement. He says, whatever you want to keep in US dollars, you keep gold. That's what it is, right? But like, that's why I've shown you as well. The M2SL chart of gold that I want to show you, you know that big macro chart level here? Okay, that big macro level chart. Remember, M2SL, so this is almost like a US cash treasuries, but you're getting a bit of a yield from this over time. So like you got to think about this, right? So like if you bought gold in 2011, all right, you bought gold at 2011 and then look at this. It is now, it's like 14 years. So you might say, oh, but so gold's beaten the US money supply. Yeah, not really, because your $1 still $1 and you're able to earn short-term yield from the US government over that period of time. So you got to think about this. The US government, what is it? Their bonds, I think they're giving you 0% yield or maybe like, 0.5% or 1%. But if you notice from 2022 onwards, what do you start to get? 3 or 4% yield. You know what I mean? So this thing's actually a bit worse than what it looks like because you're earning the short-term government yield. And a lot of people call the US dollar paper currency poop. But remember, the US dollar is a network. That's another way to look about it. I'm just giving you a quick summary on like why these things are happening and that's why, friends, gold's amazing. We love gold. Yes, it's great. Analog, digital store of money. However, not going to last forever, dude. No way. No way. Last forever. Once people realize, okay, have a lump of gold. Now what? Yeah, exactly. Now what? Well, if the world doesn't crash and explode, people start talking about other stuff. Even Uncle Ray Dalio came out, friends. He made this essay. I replied to him as well. He made this essay pretty much talking about, I'm not joking. He said gold is better than AI stocks. He goes, everybody's now realizing and opening. Like, it's a euphoric post. I'm like, dude, gold better than AI stocks? I mean, that look, it sounds like you're top blasting in euphoria. Remember, he's like 74, 75 years old. So that would be like a grandfather's way of having euphoria where he kind of creams in his pants and needs another diaper replacement. So what about the cryptocurrency industry and the cryptocurrency lands? Unfortunately, this is Ethereum. It moved back to the middle of the range and now it's coming back to dunk down. This is the Ethereum's previous monthly low. So hopefully this holds from here, but I'm saying hopefully. So remember, this is a 4-hour candle. So I guess we'll see what this thing does. Everyone, a lot of people calling for the end. A lot of people calling for the end. I guess, people are waiting for, what does Uncle Bobby Lucas say? Is he going to come out and say, oh yeah, it's all over? Whatever, man. I don't give a crap. You know what I mean? Like I see like, man, I can't bring myself to go, okay, you're down 76% after 5 years, others BTC, you've just capitulated and forced everybody out. PMI's been down for 35 months. Now's the time to bet on a bear market. It just does. No, I don't care how long it takes, man. I'm holding. So we're going to wait and see. Once again, it's been a Floptober, Red October, terrible. Because some people, friends, they said, oh, it was all a scam because everybody was excited for October. Habibi, we've been cheering for a green October for 5 years in a row. And guess what? Every single time it was green. We cheered for it and it was green. Even in the top in 2021, we even got a green October. This was just one of them, 1 out of 6, that I remember where, oh, everyone's expecting green October and then it comes out red, I don't think it's any manipulation thing. It is what it is. So the news of the day, we have gold continuing the parabolic euphoria. Bitcoin crumbles and altcoins. And friends, what I believe this is the shine of Bitcoin. It's cracked now because see, you don't talk like this. What I'm about to tell you, but Bitcoin maxis do. They don't care about altcoins. They care about gold because gold's got bigger market cap. So they keep saying we're better than you. We're better than you. We're better than you. And it turned very arrogant. Friends, remember they invited Uncle Peter Schiff to the Bitcoin conference instead of like Vitalik, so they could come and laugh at him. Okay, now he's laughing. Isn't it funny? So you're starting to see the chinks in Bitcoin. Like they're too euphoric. They're too euphoric, too arrogant, right? Remember though, I maintain I'm playing this whole red candle move. So the red arrow. This is the long-term Bitcoin dominance trend. This is Bitcoin dominance right now. We had 4 green years in a row. Everybody's literally euphoric here. You're seeing a chink in the armor. You really can see it, okay? They got too cocky. They got too arrogant. They forgot their grassroots, no more cypherpunks. They're like, oh, we got BlackRock now. We don't need anybody else. We'll see. I'm just noticing as well, friends, MicroStrategy is going to get bonked. This is the MicroStrategy to BTC ratio. Uh-oh, it is going down. You and I, friends, let's keep it family friendly. I'm going to have a look at the Bitcoin Treasuries.net and let's actually look at MicroStrategy's MNAV. Remember, this is the cost of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Okay, so we go down and we look at the MNAV. It's at 1.169. Yeah, damn, man. So you can watch the MicroStrategy to BTC ratio. so you can actually see it. Meta Planet is below 1 again. Uh-oh. Yeah. They're cooked, man. They're cooked. They're cooked. Yeah, they're cooked. You can actually see where's the break even on this. Let's actually go, I think 16% lower. So what I should do is mark it here. So this would be, let's do 16% lower. There you go. That is MNAV equals 1.00. This is the MicroStrategy BTC ratio if it comes down here, okay? The price of the stock. Remember, that is how much Bitcoin's worth on their balance sheet. If it goes below 1, it means the value of MicroStrategy stock and what you're technically inclined to own legally, it would be worth, it's cheaper than what's on the market price, okay? So the only way for the gap to close is they have to actually sell Bitcoin. They sell Bitcoin to go buy the shares back up. That's what we're going to see. Is Michael Saylor says, we'll never sell, we'll never sell. That's why, that's why, friends, you're sitting on the sidelines. I'm like, dude, I don't believe any of it. What are you talking about, bro? Well, big players can come out. They can force you to do whatever the hell they want. Let's go on the news, friends. China says it plans to work with the US of A to find a solution on trade. So, but, China capitulating, but we still have fear in the market. So there's no relief because we just have to sort out the price action stuff. Okay. But yeah, China have actually come out and they said, oh, we'll talk with the president and stuff about the Trump and the tariffs, and they're in a trade war. And yeah, man, it is what it is. Eric Trump says the Trump family made more than $1 billion from crypto. Melania, down 95%. Trump, down 95%. Absolute destruction. Okay, so Trump family saying they made more than $1 billion from crypto. Incentives though, right? They still have a lot of value stored in crypto. Yeah, because they've just been dumping everything. Yeah, they've been dumping everything. And remember, friends, World Liberty Finance, this is, relates to PulseChain. World Liberty Finance disabled $200 million of WLFI of Justin Sun. Not Justin Moon, Justin Sun. Okay, so this is why we need PulseChain. This is why we need real DeFi. This is why we need a stable coin without a price oracle that can be manipulated. Speaking of PulseChain as well, just take a quick news, friend. So yeah, there's been giant capitulations. Everything's dumped down. Regarding pDAI, I can't be bothered looking too much into it, but there's something to do with BetterWank. They enabled something, and I think there's a big wallet in there, and then he's dumped like a crap load of pDAI, and I'm still holding. I just can't be bothered for this shit anymore, man. Also, you can't see it here, but the low price, friends, was exactly 0.0018. Okay? 0.0018. Now, what's so special about that 18 number? If you do, so the bottom of pDAI was 0. And then 5 zeros, 18, which is exactly 555,555x to $1. So if you do 1 divided by 0.0018, which is just the bottom, you get exactly 555x to $1. Okay, 555x. So it could be, I don't know if it's numerology itself, but it could be just like a signal. Like, hey, if you're paying attention, you think this is all part of the plan. Okay, that an exact capitulation went exactly there. It's kind of like someone who knows what they're doing just printed that price to send the signal to anybody who's paying attention. But we'll see. Bitmine Tom Lee, friend, says Ethereum remains Wall Street's blockchain, but warns the digital asset treasury sector may already be in a bubble. So he's talking about, the Ethereum, MNAV, digital assets, the Solana, the Bitcoin ones, the MicroStrategy stuff I showed you. They're all digital asset treasuries. He's pretty much saying they popped already. They've popped already. So I'm hoping that's not the end. That's why I think a lot of people, all the Bitcoin maxis believe that the alt season was just in digital asset treasuries and they don't come and touch these altcoins. That's what they say. Okay. So yeah, it means once again, it's a matter of belief. That's why if I come and show you the PMI chart, which you've been looking at. Actually, in fact, before I show you PMI, let's look at the racist Russell 2000. Racist Russell 2000, it did have a big red candle. I guess stock market selling down, but it's actually still holding above the high. I guess we'll see. Is the racist Russell 2000 going to scam us? Man, what a sad reality it'll be. It'll be 1, 2, 3. Imagine it actually comes down, man. That'd be so sad if it actually comes back down. But whatever, man. You're just giving up hope at this point anyway, so I don't give a shit. Remember, I've already written off the year. Everything gets worse every year. So like, hey, bring on a Great Depression. Another 5 years, you know? What are the chances? We picked the only asset class not to rally after 5 years of an increased money supply of 50%. Stock market through the highs, gold through the highs, gold hitting a monthly RSI of 93. House Ponzi's through the highs, everything record highs. Altcoins record lows. I mean, like, you know, lesson for life. The Bank of England said it plans $13,000 to $27,000 limit on stablecoin holdings. They're temporary measures to ensure stability during the transition. So Bank of England transitioning with their hormones. This is related to stablecoin supercycle. It's related to pDAI. So that's another benefit of having your own stablecoin natively decentralized. A central bank can't issue a limit per customer. That's what Bank of England is doing. They're saying maximum. You're not allowed to hold more than $13,000 of stablecoins in the UK for stability. You know what that means, right? They're scared if too many people do this and start leaving the traditional financial system and start holding crypto, right? Because they need, who's going to be the sucker to hold the bid? Someone has to pay off the debt, and they're debasing, right? If people start leaving while they're debasing this much, all the currencies go down to zero so inflation goes through the roof, which is already happening, by the way. The price of steak, friends, all around the world has been growing at 14% per year for 5 years. Steak, right? Not soy. I don't care about soy. Steak, 14% per year. You know, that's why when they tell you, oh, the kippy's only 3%, that's crap. That's lies. So, friends, if you do 14% per year, it's kind of funny. If you do 14%, right, 1.14 to the power of 5, steak's gone up 92% in 5 years. It's literally doubled pretty much, okay? But you know what the government says? They say it's only gone up 15%, okay? So if you used to buy $10 worth of steak back then, now it's $20. But they say, no, it's only $11 now. It's only $11.50. You say, no, bro, it's 20. And they just reset the kippy. That's why it's a scam, man. That's why it's a scam. But like, you know, that's the system. If people want to be blue-pilled cucks and hold, it is what it is. Now, we all know this. It's just kind of sad that all of crypto is still tanking and nuking to zero. Is it ever going to get better? You tell me. Polymarket have launched up and down equity markets, letting users bet on stock price movements within Wall Street Journal and NASDAQ as resolution sources. Very interesting. Don't do them. But yes, they are. It's cool. It's cool crypto tech. Because prediction markets, why they're really cool, friends, is normies can understand yes or no, up or down. They can understand that. It's harder for normies. It takes more effort for someone like to have a conversation. Like if you meet someone in the park, it's very easy within 20 seconds to go, hey, do you think this is going to be a yes or no event? 20 seconds max. Okay. But how do you explain to the average person, hey, if you want to bet on a price going down, you put on a short. Oh, what's a short? Okay, you deposit money and then you're borrowing and then you put on a short and then you have a liquidation price. Like, what's that? What's that? They don't understand what the hell's going on. But with yes or no, you do know what's going on. When you buy a yes or no, you're buying a future dollar, right? So if something has like a 90% odds of occurring, it'll be 90 cents, yeah? So if you want to bet on the yes, you'll pay 90 cents for the future dollar. If you want to bet on the no, you'll pay 10 cents for the future dollar. Yeah? One of them is going to get the dollar. Someone's going to get the payout. Very easy for normies to understand these. That's why prediction markets could be like a growing and thriving thing for the future. Check this out as well, friends. So Ethereum leads as the top ecosystem, attracting new developers in 2025. Check this out right here. So we have real information here, real data. Some say data. Look at this, friends. Top 10 ecosystem by new developers. Okay. Now, friends, this Solana one, it's a load of bullshit. Guess what? In Solana, they consider a meme coin developer creator as a developer. So someone who launches a pump fund dog shit token, they actually count that. So I reckon, I forgot how much it was overstated by, but it was, yeah, that's laughable. Let's be honest, that's laughable. I don't care what chain's from. So we have Ethereum at 16,100. I don't know what all these people are doing. I'd love to know. Personally, I would love to know. Does Kraptos really have almost 2,000 new developers, bro? What he's doing? ICP, made it down only. Stella's got 2,200 devs. Stacks. Stacks is a Bitcoin layer 2, friends. So it's funny. They might double count Stacks into the Bitcoin thing. Because they go, oh, we're working on the Bitcoin side and the Stack side. So we're Bitcoin developers because they do it for Mindshare. So there could be double counting stuff here, right? Here we have Polygon as well. Soy. But yeah, friends, Ethereum's still leading the charge. But you wouldn't know that, right? That's why you're probably saying, Sommi, but why is the price down? Why is the price down? Price is what you pay for. Value is what you get. And the PMI is low, man, which means everybody in the world, nobody can give a crap about pricing in the future in an optimistic way because everyone's just wrecked pretty much. That's what it comes down to. Okay, so I'm looking at the soy ETH ratio. Here we have a green rejection candle. It's probably gonna come down here and just probably gonna do something like this. The trenches, what we call the homoerotic trenches, bleeding out aggressively. Yeah, there's the things that don't run and anything, which is, you know, everything what we spoke about. It is what it is. Obviously, I'm not here to gloat or anything. I don't care. But, you know, there are dozens of, unfortunately, dead bodies of people who joined my Telegram while Soylana was peaking saying, you got to pivot to soy. You got to pivot to soy. And it was at the tops, bro. It was all at the tops, the distribution, that whole range. You got to pivot to soy, all the things, stuff here. They're gone now. They're gone. Not one comment, friends. Remember? I've told you, I say this all the time. Okay, there's no point getting in when everyone's in, dude. You're betting on the favorite. If you keep looking for favorites to bet on, you're going to get wrecked. You need to find stuff no one's looking at. And then you got to hold. That's what makes it tough. However, the payout is big if you get it right. It's unfortunate, though. Everything's still garbage. Okay. Man, it's just wild, friends. That the gold price is absolutely gone. Turbo nuclear to the moon. Parabolic. There's a meme coming out there that posted by Crypto Kobe. He said, what if gold hits $5,000 before Ethereum? Which is, you know, yeah, people starting to believe it. I just don't know, man. Like, read, friends, like, when you, like, you know you're finished, dude. Come on, man. You know it's game over when you see that. Come on. Like, you know. We've only got, like, 400 examples in history. You know that. If I had gold, I'd be dumping the crap out of it right now. But look, no, don't all out. But, you know, you got to take something out, dude. Like, because you're literally watching the noobs come out. Your exit liquidity is actually here, right? You got to decide what you want to do, though. You depend on your risk. And then if you sell it, you got to pay tax. There's Pax Gold, though. If you sell it, you got to rotate into something, right? That's the problem. Yeah, because if gold's going up, yeah, but that's what might happen in the past. Remember when gold stalled, friends, Bitcoin goes on, it's like a turbo nuclear run. That's usually what happens, and it's like 6 to 12 months. But so far, we're still in cope mode. That's what we're doing. So you probably want to know where we're going to go from here. Well, all eyes are on Bitcoin. Bitcoin being garbage. These levels, remember, this is just the previous monthly low. The previous monthly low was here. See that? So it's just marked here. So it's previous monthly low. And the current, when you look at the green, it's the previous weekly high and low. That was the previous weekly high. And previous, oh no, here it is. Previous weekly low. Oh, so it counted the wick from before. Okay. So I guess we'll see how the price action goes out. So we could be at the beginning of a Great Depression. I'm still holding. I didn't see any of my exotic top signals at all. I didn't see $1 billion ICO raise. Stablecoin super cycle. They haven't banned Congress from owning stocks. There's just so many things that just haven't pinged. We'll see though. Like, subscribe, belly button, and all. Share with your friends and family. Catch you soon.